Have you ever looked back at a woman you loved, or still love, and wondered, where did I go wrong? What was I doing that pushed her away without even realizing it? Every man has been there, standing in that quiet moment where regret hits harder than the truth ever did. Before we begin, my friend, I want you to pause for a second and think of that one woman who still exists somewhere in your memories. Maybe a first love, maybe a heartbreak, maybe a woman you're trying to understand right now. Hold that memory for a moment, because this video might just change how you see women, yourself, and relationships forever. And if you are serious about becoming a stronger, calmer, more stoic man, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and stay until the very end. Trust me, one insight in this video may save your heart years of confusion. This isn't just a list of things not to do. This is a Stoic guide, inspired by the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, for men who want to love without losing themselves. 1. Don't lose yourself trying to keep her. Have you ever loved someone so deeply that you slowly started disappearing in the process? Be honest. Have you ever caught yourself bending, shrinking, or softening just to keep her close? Most men won't admit it out loud, but almost every man has done this at least once in his life. Maybe you've done it too. Maybe there was a woman who made your heart race, a woman who made you feel alive, a woman who made you think, I can't lose her. And so, without realizing it, you started giving up little pieces of yourself, your hobbies, your boundaries, your personality, your peace. You started texting faster. You started apologizing for things that weren't your fault. You started acting easier, softer, less opinionated, because deep down, you were afraid that the real you wouldn't be enough. But think back now. Did losing yourself make her stay? Or did it only make her respect you less? Marcus Aurelius said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When your thoughts revolve around fear of losing her, your soul becomes dyed with insecurity. And insecurity, my friend, is the fastest way to push a woman away. A woman doesn't fall in love with the man who changes for her. She falls in love with the man who stands firm in who he is. Do you remember the first time she liked you? It wasn't because you were trying. It was because you were being yourself. So instead of losing yourself for love, return to the man you were before fear entered the picture. Become him again, solid, grounded, centered. Because women don't remember the man who begged to be loved. They remember the man who refused to abandon himself. 2. Don't chase. Let attraction flow naturally. Have you ever chased someone so hard that you didn't even realize you were pushing them away? Be honest with yourself for a moment. Think back to that one woman, the one who made your heart beat a little faster. The one you thought could be the one. Do you remember how you felt when she pulled back? That panic, that sudden urge to prove yourself, to send another text, to call again, to show her that you were worth choosing. Every man has been there. Maybe you're living that exact moment right now. But here's the truth women will never say out loud. The moment you start chasing, her attraction starts fading. Marcus Aurelius said, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Chasing is neither right nor true to your nature as a man, because chasing does not come from strength. It comes from fear. Fear of losing her, fear of being replaced, fear that you're not enough as you are. But think about this. Before you chased, she liked you. Before you chased, she responded. Before you chased, she felt something. Attraction is not built through pursuit. It is built through presence, through calmness, through certainty, through the man who doesn't rush affection or force connection. Women don't fall for the man who runs behind them. They fall for the man who walks his path confidently and allows it. Don't over-explain your worth. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt the need to prove to a woman that you were a good man? Where you found yourself explaining your intentions, your loyalty, your value, hoping she would finally see it? Maybe you remember a moment in your own love story, a night when she pulled away a little, a day when her replies got shorter, a moment when her energy shifted, and suddenly you felt this urge to convince her that you're different from the others, that you care, that you're worth staying for. It's such a human feeling, isn't it? But here's the painful truth. The more you try to explain your worth, the more she quietly doubts it. Why? Because real value is not spoken, it's felt. And anything a man tries too hard to convince her of becomes less believable. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." In other words, don't talk about your worth, embody it. Think about the beginning of your own love story. Remember how naturally she was drawn to you. She liked your presence, not your explanations. She felt your confidence, not your speeches. She sensed your energy, not your resume. That was real attraction. That was real chemistry, and none of it required forced words. A smart man understands something powerful. A woman is not moved by arguments. She is moved by consistency, by calmness, by the quiet way you carry yourself. So instead of saying, "I'm a good man, I promise," simply live like one. Let your actions do the speaking. Let your silence carry the confidence you once lost. Because the man she never forgets is not the man who explains his worth, but the man who lives it without saying a word. 4. Don't let your emotions control the connection. Have you ever ruined a moment or an entire relationship because your emotions got louder than your wisdom? Be honest with yourself. Maybe you reacted too quickly. Maybe you said something you didn't mean. Maybe you pushed too hard because you were afraid of losing her. Every man has lived this scene at least once. And if you think back, I'm sure you have a moment in your love story where your heart was racing and your mind was drowning. And instead of staying calm, you panicked. Maybe it was when she pulled away for the first time. Maybe it was when she took too long to reply. Maybe it was when she didn't show the same excitement she used to. And in that moment, your fear whispered, "Do something, fix it, hold on tighter." And like every man who loved too much, you acted from emotion, not intention. But here's the truth Marcus Aurelius lived by. You have power over your mind, not outside events. And this is exactly where most men fail. A woman remembers a man who can remain steady, even when she is emotional, distant, or confused. She remembers the man who responds with clarity, not the man who reacts with desperation. Think back to your beginning with her. Remember how calm you were? Remember how easy conversations felt? Remember how you didn't overthink every message, every tone, every pause? That calmness is what drew her in. When your emotions take over, you stop being the man she admired, and you become the man she feels she has to manage. A strong man doesn't suppress his emotions. He disciplines them. He owns his feelings without letting them ruin the connection. Because the man she never forgets is not the one who felt the most, but the one who stayed grounded, even when the moment tried to shake him. 5. Don't make her your whole world. Have you ever given a woman so much of your energy that you slowly disappeared in the process? Be real with yourself. Maybe you stopped focusing on your goals. Maybe you cancelled plans just to be available. Maybe you rearranged your entire life just to fit into hers. And at the time it felt romantic. It felt like love. But think back to your own love story. Remember that phase when you were so into her that everything else faded. Your routine changed, your priorities shifted, and your world shrank down to one person, her. You didn't notice it happening. That's how love works. Slowly, softly, quietly. But here's the painful truth. The moment you make a woman your whole world, she starts losing interest. Not because she's cruel, but because something inside her senses that you've abandoned yourself. Women are drawn to men with a full life. A man who has a mission. A man who has hobbies, ambitions, friends, dreams. A man who doesn't orbit her, but walks beside her. Marcus Aurelius said something powerful. A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions. And when your only ambition becomes her, she loses the very reason she admired you in the first place. Think back. Remember when she first started liking you? You were busy, driven, focused. You had a spark that came from your own life, not from her attention. That's what attracted her. That's what made you unforgettable. A woman never forgets the man who loves her deeply, but she loses respect for the man who loses himself. So don't make her your world. Build your world and invite her into it. 6. Don't ignore red flags because you feel something. Have you ever liked Someone so much that you started lying to yourself just to keep the connection alive? You noticed her pulling away, her replies getting shorter, her energy shifting, but you told yourself, it's fine. Maybe she's just busy. Brother, every man has been there. And this is exactly where most men lose themselves, not because the woman is bad, but because their emotions become louder than their clarity. Marcus Aurelius said, "If someone can show me I am mistaken, I will gladly change, for I seek the truth." But when a man is emotionally attached, he stops seeking the truth. He seeks reassurance. He seeks hope. He seeks a version of her that no longer exists. And that's how red flags turn into heartbreak. A woman respects a man who can see reality even when he wishes it were different. A man who can say, "I like you, but I won't betray myself to keep you." When you stop ignoring red flags, you stop negotiating your value. You stop trying to save something that isn't meant for you. You start choosing peace over chaos and self-respect over obsession. And ironically, that's when women see your true strength. 7. Don't try to fix or save her. Have you ever met a woman who seemed broken in ways you couldn't explain? And something inside you whispered, maybe I can heal her. Maybe I can be the one who saves her. It feels noble. It feels romantic. But brother, it's a trap many good men fall into. Because when you step into the role of a savior, you stop being her partner and you become her therapist, her emotional mechanic, her unpaid healer. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, a man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions. If your ambition becomes fixing her, you end up lowering your own life, your own purpose, your own peace, all to carry someone who refuses to carry themselves. You cannot save a woman from her past. You cannot save her from her wounds. You cannot save her from the parts of herself she refuses to work on. You can support her, yes, but the moment you try to fix her, she loses respect. Because attraction fades when a man loses his center. Real strength is this: I care about you, but your healing is your responsibility, not my mission. And that boundary makes you more masculine, more grounded, and ironically, more attractive. 8. Don't overshare. Keep a bit of mystery. Have you ever texted a woman and suddenly felt this urge to tell her everything? Your past, your trauma, your dreams, your fears, as if opening up completely would make her understand you, appreciate you, or love you more. Most men do this without even realizing it. But here's the truth. When you overshare too soon, you kill the mystery that creates attraction. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If every thought you have is spilled out to her immediately, you leave nothing for her to wonder about, nothing to discover, nothing to feel curious about. Women fall in love through unfolding, not downloading. She wants to peel back layers slowly, to sense depth in you, to feel like she's earning access to your inner world, not that it's given to her instantly. Think about your favorite song. You didn't love it because it revealed everything in the first second. You loved it because it made you lean in, listen deeper, feel more. Mystery is not manipulation, it's masculine restraint. It's emotional discipline. Speak, but don't reveal everything. Share, but don't pour your soul out on the first conversation. A man who knows how to hold parts of himself is a man she cannot forget. 9. Don't stay where you're not respected. Have you ever stayed with someone even though a part of you knew you were being tolerated, not valued? Maybe you kept giving, kept trying, kept explaining yourself, hoping she would finally see your worth. Every man has felt that sting, loving someone who doesn't respect him the way he deserves. Marcus Aurelius said something brutally honest. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Meaning, you cannot force a woman to respect you, but you can control what you choose to accept. Respect is the foundation of everything. Love, intimacy, trust, attraction. Without respect, everything collapses. A woman may like you, enjoy your presence, even care for you a bit. But if she does not respect you, she will never fully give her heart. And here's the painful truth. The more you stay where you are not respected, the more you teach her that disrespect is allowed. You think you're being patient, but she reads it as weakness. A high-value man knows when to walk away. not as revenge, not as a dramatic exit, but as an act of self-protection, a stoic act of honoring his own worth. When you leave where you are not respected, you don't lose anything, you reclaim everything. Final message. If you've been listening closely, you already know these aren't just lessons about women. They're lessons about becoming a stronger, calmer, wiser man. A woman may come into your life, or she may leave, but what stays with you forever is the man you are becoming. Build him, strengthen him, honor him, and everything else, including the right woman, will fall into place. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.